Now with us, you find her work at Yahoo, of course, the Yahoo Sportsbook, betting analyst there, tennis, golf, football. And today we'll be talking tennis and golf with Pam Maldonado joining us right now. Pam, thanks for staying up late with us tonight.
Well, I wish I was with Greg having some Texas Roadhouse.
The Texas Roadhouse should find Greg's Twitter account and pay the man his money for the amount of promotion he gives them.
You should come to Texas, and I bet it is better here than in Vegas.
You're probably right. I think that's a pretty safe bet on that one. So Pam, everyone's in bracket mode, including the PGA Tour. So they go to Austin. They descend on Austin this week. And the WGC-Dell match play tournament. And Pam, just for people that are new to betting this event, this is very different than every other event on the PGA Tour.
It is. The structure is so unique. It is 3 days of round robin. There's 16 four-man groups. And then after they play that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then once that's over, after group play, there's single elimination on Saturday and Sunday. And since it is such a unique format, it's very interesting to note that this is actually the last year that they're going to be having match play on tour for the foreseeable future. So it's very anticipated. It's still exciting. It's unfortunate because Austin Country Club is a great course, and it's the last time that a PGA event will be on this course as well. So at least for now, for the time being. So I'm very interested, excited for the WGC match play.
It's a shame because, again, match play is such a different experience. And, of course, we get it in the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup. You see on the screen, if you're watching at home, you just saw on the screen what Pam was saying, just this format. Very different if you're going to be betting it this week. Let's dive into some of your bets that you like. And instead of coming up with fancy group names, just as simple as it gets, groups 1 through 16. And we're going to start right in the middle here, Pam. And you wrote this up at Yahoo. Group number 9. This group features Colin Morikawa, Jason Day, Adam Svensson, and Victor Perez, the Frenchman. And you're looking at the Aussie here, Jason Day. Why are you on Jason Day here in Group 9?
Jason Day is one of the best players on tour right now who hasn't won in 2023. I mean, you're talking about match play talking about how the format is so unpredictable, it's so unique, and it doesn't really cater to any specific type of player. It can be a bomber, a short game player, and we had a lot of rain today. So that's also going to come into the mix. I live in Austin, so I'm very well aware of the weather conditions. But Jason Day, he is one of the best players on tour at the moment who hasn't won a title. He's third in strokes gained total behind only Scottie Scheffler and Jon Rahm, both of which have already won a title this year. Of course, Scottie Scheffler has won a couple, but he's top 20 finishes. He has 6 top 20 finishes in 6 tournaments. He has gained strokes from tee to green in all 6. He had a solo 5 at the Phoenix Open. He is playing spectacular. And you want to look at Colin Morikawa. He gets all of the praise because he's one of the best ball strikers on tour. But I'm never inclined, especially when it comes to match play, to go with a player who cannot putt, and that is Morikawa. And Jason Day is third in strokes gained putting, and he's second in strokes gained putting and second in strokes gained approach. So you're talking about a player that can both hit it well with his irons and knock in some birdies. That's like the exact recipe for what you're looking for a success. And so I love me some Jason Day. I wanted to back him as an outright, but he also has Scheffler in the same side of the bracket. And so it's like betting tennis right now. You don't want to go against the best player on tour, and that's Carlos Alcaraz. So that's what Scottie Scheffler is. So I would rather back Jason Day in his group at least.
Jason Day right now at DraftKings, and of course, as always, shop around. Day plus 190 to win that group. Again, featuring Morikawa, Svensson, and Victor Perez. Day, again, to win this tournament right now, just looking down the board, is 30-1. If you want him to make the semifinal, which is a top 4 finish, plus 750 on Jason Day, if you are inclined to take a shot there. All right, Pam, let's just go with, you mentioned Scottie Scheffler a bunch, and you should. That's the best player in the world right now. He's won multiple times. It's pretty amazing for a guy who didn't have a win until last year's Phoenix Open, and now all he does is win. Scheffler is 8-1. Is this too short of a number, or is this a number that you'd be willing to back here with Scottie Scheffler?
I've already bet it. It's
There we
Scotty
go.
Scheffler, and he won this event in 2022. He took runner-up in 2021. He has 2 titles in 2023, winning the Phoenix Open and the Players. And it's just really interesting to know because, yeah, he's a short odd at 8-1, and he just won this event last year. And the last player to defend match play title was Tiger Woods in 2003, 2004. If there was any one player, though, that can do something, replicate a Tiger Woods stat, I believe wholeheartedly that it is Scheffler. He leads in strokes gained, ball striking. He leads from tee to green. I just talked about how I want to back somebody who can give himself some birdie opportunities. That is exactly Scheffler. He is so good with his ball striking. And what you just love about him is he has such an ease to him. There's no care in the world. It's like, oh, cool, I birdied. And then he just goes off and wins the next tournament. Like he's just like the atypical format for what you see. He doesn't have that hunger drive, that tiger drive that you see from other players who are just dominating. And I think that's why he's such like a fan favorite as well. He's just so chill and relaxed. And I love Scheffler. I'm gonna back him every week until the sun goes down. So 8-1, give it to me all day.
Well, let's look at another one that I know you're looking at outright here, and it's a little bit more down the board, but still one of the shorter shots here. And again, these numbers are a little bit. You're going to get better numbers this week just because of this format. Max Homa, 20-1, of course, a win already this year on the Farmers Insurance Open back in January. Still playing very good golf. What drew you to Homa this week at 20-1?
He's on the same bracket side as Scheffler, but I mean, if you're thinking of not Scheffler, then who's it going to be? I believe that Homa has a really great shot here. 20-1 odds, 4th in strokes gained total, 2nd from strokes gained approach. He himself, he's always been somebody that I like to back when he's playing on the West Coast, but he's translated his skills all over the place. He found his comfortability. He's playing some solid golf. He has his confidence, and that's what you want when you're backing a player in golf, because golf is just as much mental as it is physical. He's 6th in strokes gained, ball striking. As you mentioned, he won the Farmers Insurance Open. He took 2nd at the Genesis Invitational, and even better, he took T6 at the Players Championship. That is a strong field event in a very tough course, and this is not one of that. I mean, TPC here, I mean, Austin Country Club is a fairly difficult course, sure, but I mean, it's match play, so it's just a lot more volatility. You're wanting to take a little bit of risk on some of the longer shots other than the favorites at the top of the board. So Max Homa is definitely one of the favorites for me this week.
Pam Maldonado with us right now here on the GPE. Pam, what other outrights do you have in pocket right now for this event? Of course, the match play in Austin, Texas this week.
So Scheffler and Homa are both on the same side of the bracket. If you look at the opposite side of the bracket, the only player that stands out to me, you have players like Rory McIlroy, Jon Rahm. Very interesting, of course. But the one that has a little bit more of longer odds that really has a potential here is Tyrrell Hatton at 25-1. If you look at his side of the draw, he is 2nd in strokes gained total behind Rahm. He is 4th in strokes gained from tee to green behind Rory, Rahm, and Finau. And his opening group to start is a fairly easy one. Russell Henley, Lucas Herbert, Ben Griffin. Those are 3 players right now that are all struggling with their iron play. And I talked about earlier how today we just got downpoured on with the rain. So you're going to need somebody who can definitely not only hit off the tee, maybe a little bit of a longer hitter, but also solid with the irons. And that's Tyrrell Hatton. And I mean, he is just playing such great golf. I'm talking about how Jason Day is one of the best players on tour right now who hasn't won a title. Tyrrell Hatton is right there. I mean, he's doing some really great things. I feel like I was one of the players who called that he has the potential here to come out with a win, and this could definitely be an opportunity for him.
Hatton again on the opposite side of the bracket, and look, this is lined up like a March Madness field. So
Yeah.
pay attention to where guys are bracketed here, because you might pick off a good number like that on Tyrrell Hatton. If he gets through his group, he might have an easier run to the final as opposed to someone who might have to go through Scotty Scheffler in a quarterfinal or a round of 16. We have to talk a little bit about the Masters. It's our obligation. It's a little less than a month away. The week after March Madness, that's when the Masters gets going. Of course, Jon Rahm is your betting favorite at plus 650. Rory's at 7-1. The defending champion, Scotty Scheffler's at 8-1. And then everyone else is 18-1 or longer. Spieth is the 4th shortest at 18-1. Pamela, I know it's very hard, unless if you're Tiger Woods, to go back-to-back at Augusta. But I'm a little surprised that Scotty Scheffler is not the favorite here with everything that has happened over the last few months, especially with Rahm, who was dominant to begin this PGA season, kind of losing his swing a little bit.
Yeah, no, Scheffler, if he's not on your betting card, then what are you doing? That's kind of the question that you have to ask yourself right now. He is literally good at everything. First in ball striking, first from tee to green. He can do no wrong until he shows me. And even if you don't bet him as an outright, you should be taking him to finish in the top 10 at least. And you're going to get plus money odds for that, maybe like 115, 125. For him to be in the top 20, that's going to be higher, like probably in the minus 200 range. But if you don't have Scheffler on your betting card for the Masters in some form or fashion, in a head-to-head matchup, in a top 10 finish, top 5 finish, as an outright, in one of those options, then you're doing the PGA betting wrong.
Scheffler, again, I would imagine he'll probably be the favorite once the tournament comes around. And just again,
oh yeah,
it's surprising to see him not already the favorite, especially with the way he is trending upwards, and the other guys, again, still incredible players, just not trending as well as him. Pam, what have you bet on the Masters already, if you have anything in pocket?
I am really interested. I haven't bet anything as of yet, but I'm really interested in Jason Day. I've talked about him in length, but he is first in the field. He is first on tour right now, top 5 in his short game, and that definitely could come into play with a course like Augusta, where it just comes. There's so much undulation. The greens are huge. I mean, you're talking about rolling greens. He is a great putter, and you're talking about somebody who can gives himself some birdie opportunities and then knock them in. Yeah, I'm going to take Jason Day every time. Terrell Hatton, I just mentioned him. He is second in ball striking behind Scotty Scheffler. Around the green is where he kind of needs a little bit of work, but that could be some trouble. But his ball striking right now is just so solid. So I would be looking to have Terrell Hatton also probably in a top 20. You're going to get better odds for him. And Will Zalatoris, as much as I want to back him, he's probably going to be a player that I actually fade. He took 6th in this tournament 2 years ago. Second last year, but he's just not in current form right now. And Willie Z, that's my boy. I love betting him and I love backing him, but he's just not. He had a T53 2 weeks ago, a 73rd in back-to-back events. He's lost 5 and 7 strokes in his short game. Yuck. So until he kind of finds his rhythm back into form, maybe this is the week that he starts doing that. But I know Will Zalatoris is somebody that's going to be mentioned a lot just because of his success here in the Masters in the 2 years that he's played. But as of right now, he's not somebody that I'm interested in.
Just feels like that Zalatoris really, it's like Koepka light back in the day, where Koepka really, where Koepka showed up at the majors and was really, he was fine in the other events.
Right.
We're kind of getting to that point with Willie Z, where of course, yeah, he won in Memphis last year, which was a big deal because he hadn't won on the PGA Tour. But it's just one of those where, again, I don't think I'll have him on my card either. But that's one thing, and I know you know this too, Pam. Like maybe he's just one of those guys like Koepka. Like, hey, it's only four events on my card that really matter throughout the year.
Maybe, and if that's the case, then I'll back him for the next major. But for this one, the first one of the year, let's go ahead and pass for now.
By the way, the numbers on the other two that you mentioned, they're both 35-1. Jason Day and Terrell Hatton right now at the DraftKings Sportsbook to win the Masters. Of course, getting going a few weeks from now. Again, the Thursday after the tournament ends. That's when the Masters begins in Augusta.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.